and he has the chance of, getting his second game prediction correct, because we're going to head over to the draft panel right now as we are ready for game number 2, Virtus Pro and Team Nigma. Let's go.
Virtus Pro's turn to ban. Dire Team ban.
Now for the old razzle-dazzle!
Virtus Pro's turn to ban.
Now for the old razzle-dazzle! Now for the old razzle-dazzle!
再见了，宝贝儿。露拳，露拳，
10
露
seconds
拳。
remaining.
Correct, because we're going to head over to the draft panel right now as we are ready for game number 2, Virtus Pro and Team Nigma.
Ban.
Now for the old razzle-dazzle!
I think this is one parallel that I actually draw with pubs, because when I am streaming, take the time that my team.
10 seconds remaining. Ban.
Now for the old razzle-dazzle!
I think this is one parallel that I actually draw with pubs, because when I am streaming, take the time that my team.
10 seconds remaining. Ban.
Now for the old razzle-dazzle!
I think this is one parallel that I actually draw with pubs, because when I am streaming, take the time that my team. Here, I said I were heavily impacted, but I also didn't think the changes would come into play, because what's going to happen, I think, is eventually these premium heroes are going to keep getting picked, and then people are going to eventually find out the counters to them, and they're going to realize there's just better heroes in the pool over time. So I think teams are going to play what they've been practicing more than they're going to play what might necessarily be slightly better, because if you played the hero 20 times in the last month, you're going to play it better than any hero in the game that you've played only once. So Phoenix, I think, still does its job in the game. It's just the lane stage issue is the only thing you're looking at now. They've nerfed Phoenix's lane stage like 3 or 4 patches in a row now. Eventually, it's going to be enough.
It's like one of those things where fundamentally they're still checking the same box inside the game, so it still makes sense. Let's talk about though what we got kind of thrown together on the side of VP, because Wisp obviously has been one of the heroes that we've needed to pay the most attention to today, and I think we're probably going to end up paying the most attention to tomorrow as well. But I wouldn't necessarily put Badman inside of those ranks. So why are we seeing that in the first phase?
Specifically with Wisp, right? It's almost certainly being a Wisp carry with Badman support.
Most likely, yeah. We've seen more and more of this shifting towards that position 1. Good ban coming out from Team Nigma. They have Phoenix and Undying. so they need to ban out Gyro. It's just that strong of a hero against both of these. And this is huge amount of sustain coming out from Virtus Pro. Overcharge, Abaddon providing shield and heal. Like, I don't think you can pick something like AA on side of Nigma. You are very locked in. Like, you might push Phoenix towards position, let's say 3 probably, but then you still need something to control these heroes. You have Phoenix to buy a Spirit Vessel possible this game against the IO, but Abaddon just makes it really bad to play into.
Yeah, I think the lineup for Virtus Pro so far is just screaming, hey, we're going to throw all of our stuff on one guy. Gyro and Troll are super good to enable that, because oftentimes the problems these heroes have is they don't want to get initiated onto because they could just get bursted full to 0, or in general, like, standing their ground is the one issue they really have. So giving them the IO Abaddon behind really makes sense. Like, if you're envisioning how they end the game, Troll and Gyro are great high ground siegers, just base pushers in general when you have backliners like the Abaddon and IO. And even though IO, we talked about it being a carry with the Abaddon, you could absolutely make IO a 4 or Abaddon a 3. Options. IO could be a mid. We've also seen like IO carry 2-position Gyro, where in the laning stage it pairs with the Abaddon, and later on you're tethered with 2 cores. I like the overall approach that both teams are taking so far. With the IO Abaddon, you either need a hero that just basically kills everybody at once, so the one target can't be preserved, which is in this case Spectre, or other heroes that just take long, sustained fights that eventually wear you down, and Morphling Void do make sense for that description. I would come up with Slark being another one, Anti-Mage.
Or Virtus Pro?
No, for Team Nigma, because they lack mobility and stuns with their 2 supports right now, or at least 2 heroes. So I think it needs to come from their cores.
Both of these teams don't have any kind of stun right now, so it's very easy to sneak in something like a Slark. Looks like a good Slark game for both of these teams, I would say. There's still Ember Spirit's gone, possibly a good Void Spirit Storm game. Like, Team Nigma needs to pick something that protects, something like an Axe, but then again, if you in the lane stage against the Abaddon, you can just purge off the Fire Spirit, depending on what role is the Abaddon going to play in this one. But you need low cooldown ability that you
I think Mirage is
fight.
way too good for Virtus Pro right now. Against Undying Phoenix, I think if they're planning position IO with 5 Abaddon, you can just do like Mirana Beastmaster as like a second round. Maybe not Beastmaster specifically, but I'm just thinking of like Mirana plus a setup stun. I just talk about Mirana because it kills the egg. It also, the Undying Tombstone, the zombies all go away when you go invis, so it's also nice for that. It kills the Tombstone. And also, Moonlight Shadow is super good when the opponent's locked on stuns, because it's just such a good disengage, and it's really important that they get some sort of disengage because of the Phoenix Egg as well as the Undying Tombstone. Once those abilities are used, and if Team Nigma doesn't win the fight in that case, or in that time period, then their heroes are much less scary, honestly.
Yup. Clock. Let's talk about why we actually do see that here. Does that start to fill any of those roles? Not necessarily something that I expected to see
Or
here.
Phoenix, maybe?
It's a possibility. Like, I would prefer, I mean, you don't see it yet, but Clockwork as a position 3, like, just for me at least, never stood out as a great hero. You do so much more from position 4. You can get the farm, and when you're playing him as a 3, you're missing from a lane, you know something's going on. So, also, you can, I mean, in this kind of scenario, if there's going to be Clockwork 3, position 4 Phoenix will be in that lane instead of Clockwork, so Clockwork will be playing from the fog most of the time, so you need a hero that's going to get farm eventually, otherwise you're just going to end up with like 2 position 4s and a position 5, which is not good.
And we'll talk for anyone who's just waking up right now, maybe missed some of the changes. We'll talk about how Clock actually did change, but when we do look at the Wind Ranger here, you're talking about Mirana. Mirana obviously gets on top of the egg, and then also it does have extra game against some of the heroes in the lineup that Nigma is bringing. How do you feel the Wind Ranger does slot in?
It's basically a Mirana that's only really for herself, but she also sets up the ganks herself. So like Mirana would be better disengaged for the entire team, but would need another hero to actually set up the engagements, while Wind Ranger is good disengaged for herself, but then sets up the engagements alone. So it opens up their hero pool in the offlane a little bit more.
So you need a hero that's going to get farm eventually.
Do go to Beastmaster, so I thought it was going to be
like 2 position 4s and a position 5, which is not good.
independent support in that regard. She's going to do her job which is completely irrelevant to the team. Like, the team's going to let her set up ganks. She's going to be looking to basically be a mobile warrior. That's something.
Extra game against some of the heroes in the lineup that Nigma is bringing. How do you feel the win rate does slot in?
It's basically a Mirana that's only really for herself, but she also sets up the ganks herself. So like Mirana would be better disengaged for the entire Hawk. They've got the spirits, they've got Wind Ranger to scout out. I do like what Virtus.pro's doing here. But then sets up the engagements alone. So it opens up their hero pool in the offlane a little bit more.
I kind of overheard the conversation that you were having this morning. I wasn't actually in it, but you were basically singing the praises of Drow, saying it is like the hero to look at right now.
Drow Ranger is the hero that, even though you played so many times against it, you still don't expect this amount of damage coming out in a short period of time. And when bad spot, like if you're losing the game with the Drow Ranger, just defending a tier 3 tower could make a whole lot of difference. And they don't have the best heroes to just get on top of the Drow Ranger here. Like they don't have anyone to, just jump in, something like a Slark, PA,
Dire team back.
shift things around. So I just want to see what Nigma thinks it's going to be their last hero. Which position is it going to be?
I have a feeling Virtus.pro is going to pick like Void Spirit here. It's the #1 contender for me. They banned out the Prophet, which would have been great. I played against no one's Prophet. I just want to say right now, that guy freaking carried the shit out of that game. I was like, holy crap, I didn't check ranks prior to the game, and I'm like, who is this freaking Prophet? He's ranked 3. I'm like, oh, okay. He's insane. And I think they're pretty much putting their entire plan is, it has an idea to it, right? They're going to split the map. They're very mobile. They can get all of their heroes to the same place at once, but now they need like that, the hero that ties it all together. They don't have the win condition yet for Virtus.pro, so Nature's Prophet would have done fine with that. Now that I think about it, Void Spirit might not be that great. Maybe they do need a more carry-esque mid. Is there a carry-esque mid that goes on Drow? That's the question.
Ember is gone.
Yeah, Ember's gone.
That's a good ban. I mean, I'm still fine. I don't know. If they want to get something like more tower damage, what do you get? Do you just get something like a Dragon Knight?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Dragon Knight into Undying
Tiny's
Phoenix.
still in the pool. Like, he is kind of a...
I think it has to be a mobile hero. Really? An Undying Phoenix, huh? Okay.
It's just a hero
like
that
Tiny here.
closes the gap, bursts him down. He can toss Clockwork out of the cogs. Like Tiny IO as a combo, it's still insanely strong.
10 seconds.
I want to learn from this game because this game, now that I really feel like I've seen the whole draft play out, I have played Tiny into this kind of thing, and if he blinks in and doesn't immediately kill somebody, like imagine as a Tiny, you're going to be inside of a tombstone, there's going to be Clockwork, there's going to be a Drow hitting you, you're not moving. Like you're literally
It's a
not
lot
going
of
to
slow. Like
you're
Drow
not going to move.
It's a sick lineup from Nigma. You have a ton of slow. You have good ways of protecting the egg and the tombstone. I think level 10 talent on Drow Ranger, Gust 50% blind slow. You should definitely go for it.
From my understanding of these lineups, I think Nigma is very heavily favored here, but that's under the idea. Now that I really feel like I've seen the whole draft play out, I have played Tiny into this kind of thing, and if he blinks in and doesn't immediately kill somebody, like imagine as a Tiny, you're going to be in a
10 seconds remaining.
Clockwork, there's going to be a Drow hitting you, you're not moving. Like you're literally
5 seconds remaining.
It's a sick lineup from Nigma. You have ton of slow. You have good ways of protecting the
because it
egg and
ass Tiny game.
I mean, they have ways of protecting the Tiny once he goes in, but it's a lot of AoE slow and a lot of AoE control from it.
From my understanding
Just Drow Ranger
of these lineups, I think Nigma is very heavily
reset,
favored.
go in and out.
That's what Tiny struggles with.
the
is next to
Baton and
blink
IO.
combo, leave.
Odds are in favor of them. Analysts in favor as well. When we were looking at the draft, one of the things that you said was we need to see a win condition. We ended up getting Tiny. Whether or not that's going to bear fruit, we're about to find out as we throw it over to the casters and see game number 2.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a sick lineup.
Thank you very much, Rich. Yes, looking forward to this one as we'll see if Nigma can sort of swing back after that rough game one that they had against VP. VP coming in at a very fast pace in the first game. The same sort of thing looks to be what they're aiming for here in game two again, VP. Is it going to work though?
Looks like they have to play fast. I don't know. This one I'm feeling pretty concerned for them. I feel like Nigma this time has a really scary draft that also can fight as a team. I think that's what they were really lacking in the last game, is actually just team fight rather than just single target. This time they've got a plethora of AoE, just better lanes overall too, and they actually have proper win conditions. Like this Drow can actually get very strong this game. I don't know, Nigma's who's their carry? On the side of VP, who's their carry? Is it an IO carry?
Find out. Is it IO carry? Is it Abaddon carry? Is it Tiny safe lane?
I'm not sure. I don't know. It looks weird and it looks really tough to execute for sure. This. Like Tiny last pick. I've seen this so many times before. Like these teams, and we talked about it at TI with a bunch of the players too. Playing into Phoenix alone is tough as a Tiny. It's just going to be a hard game. You don't kill somebody, you're stuck in the egg. Exactly what you're saying. Throwing Undying too. It doesn't look like this end all be all. So I think they have to just get ahead and stay very ahead on the side of VP and just kind of snowball and just be able to kill heroes over and over again. Otherwise, I feel like just the Nigma draft, just from the nature of their draft, is just going to kick together, and their team fight is going to be way stronger than what VP has.
So, as we can see, it is indeed going to be IO2W playing the carry IO. No one is still going to take the Tiny mid against that Viper. We'll see how that goes, as that could definitely be a lane where We Are is able to start bullying the Tiny pretty heavily as the levels come in.
Yeah.
30 seconds.
Yeah, we're gonna have to see how they do. I feel like if they don't come out ahead in the lanes and they have if they start falling behind at all in the early mid game, I feel like there's no way they ever take a fight. So like I said, I think they have to just really press the issue forward here, be super aggressive, get a lead, and don't lose your lanes. I mean, it's tough. It's going to be a hard one, but they do have some good heroes in lane in particular to be able to do that. Side's ready. Pre-skilling, he has the win run. He uses it immediately right away.
Battle begins.
And Nigma, they'll bring 3 heroes up top to try to secure the rune. Won't get it though. Rezo does get that one. Solo. He's actually doing some work.
Yeah, it's trading quite nicely here into Miracle and GH. As they run down the Drow, Miracle.
The shield's gonna pop, actually.
Ooh, it's gonna be close.
One more hit.
Can't quite get it. Unless he wants to. Oh, he's got the shield up again. He's gonna
fairy fire.
He's diving with this one.
Oh, he didn't fairy fire. Okay. I think it might have actually saved him if he did use it, but the damage from the tower instantly popped the shield. He probably expected to take one more hit or something like that. So, wow, they actually get the kill.
Oh, and the aggressive tips here from VP there.
That's twice now. ILTW tipped him before last game, too.
Straight from the off there. First blood, and that's it there. They're getting in.
I think Weeha's going to be tipping no one a lot this game, though. I have a feeling after this mid lane, because this does not look fun for a Tiny.
No, this is one of those lanes where you're very viable to being tilted if you're playing into the Viper.
And just a couple hits just build up from the poison attack, and you're just very slow base hero. 0 armor as well, so you take a lot of harassment from it all. His last hits, though, that's the one thing. Tiny, for the first few levels, does have a base damage advantage, especially with the tree. But like we said, it's really going to be all about those early lanes, in particular from VP, to set themselves up if they do want to have a fight. And this is a bit unique. It's a core Undying, too. I think to point that one out, but yeah, Mind Control is playing Undying as a core. I think we've seen it. I don't think I've seen it in official games, but I've seen players streaming it. I know Seb was playing a lot of the core Undying when it first got changed. Just the fact that you're able to actually utilize your ult a little bit better now as a core is one of the big reasons. Level 2 on RMN.
There gets the grab onto Solo with these cogs.
They have the Orb of Venom as well. Soul Rip, yeah, just crazy amount of damage.
Yeah, they've got to be careful giving away these early kills to the bottom lane of Nigma, as this clock dying definitely feels like a lane that could snowball against these heroes.
And it's a Undying versus 2 strength heroes.
Yeah.
The IO as well as the Abaddon. Abaddon does not have fun versus Undying when he's playing versus him in lane. It's one of, you just can't trade hits because you just reduces your strength down, you don't hit him back hard enough. Same thing for IO. I mean, this is an interesting approach. Seeing how those lanes are progressing. The Tiny, he's actually doing quite well.
Mid lane.
Yep.
Yeah, no one's going to be pretty happy with these.
That base damage advantage really playing in, and he's got the early bottle, so the sustain is going to be there. Yeah, he's doing good. Now, level 3 hits, though. This is where the Viper starts really able to just orb walk you and push you out a bit.
It sort of becomes impossible to approach the lane if we are able to hold in a good place. Top lane, Rezo, tired. Fairy Fire comes out, and it will keep him alive.
All right.
As Miracle's able to get away.
They're doing well as the Abaddon. Abaddon does does not have fun Sester. A couple of those are probably some board denies, but they're doing some good work up there versus the Drow to shut her down. That's what I mean, they need to come out ahead in their lanes, like we're saying. Bottom, though, is going to be really tough. This IO is not getting it any real time to last it pretty much anything as he has 9 denies, 10 denies.
Oh yeah, mind control, just holding the lane perfectly there.
I mean, he just steals damage from them, right? Because they're both strength heroes. Look at this IO's base, 42 because he's missing 12 strength. How do you last it?
How do you don't?
Solo again getting caught in the cogs. They have some extra heals for him. He will be okay. But yeah, this lane is going to be really tough for ILTW to keep himself getting those last hits. Just base damage advantage, animation advantage, and as we see, Viper's starting to take over mid.
Yeah, he's starting to rack up on the denies now, being able to push no one away. Still though, I think no one keeping his cool quite nicely in this lane. Sure. He's able to be in a position now as well with the wave is going to push in on him.
He has 9 denies, 10 denies.
Oh, yeah, mind control, just holding the lane perfectly there.
I mean, he just steals damage from them, right? Because they're both strength heroes. Look at this. There
we go, as we enjoy this pause. Looks like Reza also taking a real life pause there. Yeah. Not moving in any sort of capacity, as RTW, of course, pressure on him this game to perform as the carry IO.
Oh, I mean, look at him. He's like, I'm landing versus Undying as IO. Oh, God, eyebrow rub.
Yeah, you don't blame him for having a headache.
No, definitely not.
This.
It's going to be a really tough. I feel like it's going to have to be somebody rotating to kind of bail them out of this lane bottom. Or if they run out of mana in particular, which we are seeing. Undying's out of mana, so is Clockwork. I feel like we have to look at those couriers to ferry extra mana region for them to keep their pressure applied. Because now is when they can start turning. This Undying's decay is going to wear off in a second too. So yeah, mind control, either bring something out or he needs to go heal. Top.
So Zayat trying to get in a little aggro on his own, and Miracle and GH, you've got to be careful when that win run comes to an end. You'll dive very quickly to these two heroes. Lots of slows and control to make sure that Miracle can keep hitting you on the way out. You get back in on to GH.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, Reza just able to walk up between the two of them and kill off Phoenix.
Yeah, Orb of Venom there actually paying off. Plus that Boar slow was enough, and now it's Shackle.
Look at the Shackle.
Look at these slows. Look at this 188 movement speed. The Boar plus the Orb of Venom. It's enough.
All right, Reza with the double. Iron Man's going to come in with the TP rotation as he looks to try and get the trade kill onto Reza. Reza attempting to run away. Zayat's trying to tank some of the battery assault here, but GH swoops in. Everybody's popped in the Shackle. Zayat, he catches the two of them. That's going to save Resolution. Gets the Beastmaster out of there. Nice play from Zayat.
Oh, and look at all these juicy last hits that Miracle's missing too. 2 denies likely to happen. GH will at least
hitting you on the way out.
Creep said he did end up missing there. Nice aggressive play. Oh, no one.
See if he's going to be able to run away from this. He's not going to be able to do mind control. Sweeps across from the bottom lane, even allowing.
Plus that Boar slow was enough. And
that kill.
Caught between a rock and a hard place, right? Poor Tiny. Solo with ILTW. These Orb of Venoms in the side lanes. Look at mind control too. He's just like, okay, reapply the slow. Oh, didn't hit him with the reapply slow. And can he actually catch up to him now? He cannot. Ooh, gets a hit, but nope. Just trades though, pushing him away. Orb of Venom. Look at it go. And look at no one go too. Just, I mean, he started out great, like we said, but those levels for the Viper, now level 6.
He's not getting totally bullied away from the lane though. Sure, he did die that once, but he's still able to get creeps mid.
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, coming into this matchup, you know it's going to be very tough as a Tiny.
Yep. Oh, mind control. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nice trading going on there. He's 16 decay stacks. With this bottle, though, the sustain is there for this IO to now finally start recovering his lane. They can push them away. They can actually out-sustain the Undying plus the Clockwork now down here. Mind control will be pushed away, and ILTW, he will be happy. He'll be able to breathe and stop rubbing his eyebrows as he's up to only 27 last hits. He's recovered really nice in these last few moments.
Top lane.
The Boars, he'll get one of them.
And Reza hitting the 5, wants to... Yeah, 6 is about to be there for Miracle, so he's going to be punching back very hard.
Early move. I think this is dictating how much he's struggling in the mid. He wants to try to make an aggressive move. The mini Shackle, is it enough?
As TP's coming over though, this could be punished. Miracle, he's going to be fine here as We Are comes in with a TP rotation in reaction. And we're starting to see already these moves that VP are going to try and make are going to be responded to pretty easily from Nigma with the heroes they have.
It feels forced, right? Because he just has nowhere to go. His mid lane is impossible for him to do anything. So he's like, all right, maybe I can make an aggressive move top. Weehaw is the easiest TP in the world up there. Now no one, level 5 versus a near level 8 Viper. And we were talking about how their laning phase, I mean, for me, it feels like it has to go pretty well for them. And that's going to slow them down a lot. A Tiny that gets shut down this much. He's bottom 4 net worth. He's below his Abaddon already at this point. And look, he feels like he just has to constantly making some moves.
He's got to go all in. It's the only way.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
But yeah, this game is definitely a bit of a minefield for Tiny.
Yeah, and it's not. It was a last pick Tiny, like we said.
Yeah, they wanted to play it.
They wanted to play, but it's not an easy game for him to really do a whole lot here. Maybe he can get a kill. Nope. GH has range drop and stick. So now this Viper really will start catapulting ahead. Level 8, like we said, versus level 5 Tiny.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's going to be a lot up to those other cores. The IO and the Beastmaster have to kind of carry this one now. As your mid Tiny is just he's out of it for a while.
It's rough. It's definitely rough. Which core are you looking towards? I mean, as we say, Tiny, it's a tough game to just play the hero conceptually against the powers that Nigma have. What hero on VP's lineup can have a good game this match?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not too sure, honestly. I feel like it's just tough. Maybe the IO, depending on how this mid game goes, but I'm seeing them kind of struggle and once the team fights start going. He does finally get the kill though. He's very persistent.
I mean, he has to be, right? You're not sitting mid. You're not farming against this Viper. He's got to make plays no one, and he does find that opportunity to do so there.
Finally does get himself a kill, moves himself up, but he's not farming. He's gonna have a tough one. Mind control, TPing in to defend the tower. He's got the slow on Rezo. Rezo will be able to get out.
Mid lane, no one.
Weehaw.
Getting some setup onto Weehaw. Can he escape this? The Sunray down. He's gonna be saved solo, and no one will go down. And that is the worry for VP. There's the big potential for that to happen time and time again now. Attempted plays from solo and no one going in and just not being able to sustain through this turnaround damage that Nigma have. They can just sit back. The combination, this early magical just damage over time between the heroes like the Viper and the Phoenix, it just shreds through these heroes trying to make moves.
Oh, maybe they can find mind control with the relocate. This should be able to be a kill that they can find here finally too. So I think this kind of shows what they have to do. It's all about outnumbering. I feel like if they're ever on like even number footing, it's going to be super hard for them to actually take any fight. Like we mentioned, great team fight lineup, and now with the lanes the way they went, Nigma's going to have a edge coming out of this one. But I think if they can do that, they can start to trickle back in this one. They just have to keep playing around the Tiny, playing around these relocates and roars, but still going to be very hard as everyone's buying raindrops. They're all just getting tanked up for Nigma, so they don't die to the combo. They're going to try to go for that route.
Now, this will be interesting to see what VP do to play on from this position. It's not an easy one.
Nope, it's so long.
Definitely a challenge for VP here. But from the draft, it was a self-inflicted challenge.
It was.
They didn't make this easy for themselves with the picks.
Nope.
So maybe just wanting to step up the difficulty here of the game too.
Is under attack.
It really does seem like that. The Tiny mid, the panel set immediately. And then they get picked with the Viper mid. He's not even level 7 yet at this near 11-minute mark. He's really struggling. So we are seeing the IO still going for the Dominator, although it's an item that's gotten reworked recently, last night in fact.
It's down bottom. Zayas able to find the shackle connection. Rezo's coming over as well. Does have the roar.
Got good numbers here.
And they're going to be able to win this one as Weehaw and RMN cannot deal with this 4-on-2. I mean, as you say, VP, they're finding these opportunities to come in and outnumber Nigma.
Yep. Have to play aggressive, especially when Nigma is starting to overstep their bounds there. Miracle's still free farming. Same thing up at top. We see my control is pushing it, but at least they get something on the board. And they will have relocate back available now too. So if he does want to look for plays with the Tiny, again, all about the numbers. If they can look to catch people off guard.
And straight away, smoke from VP.
Dire
They've got to try and ramp up this speed. They're playing with mind control. He's already starting to get back.
He's got max tombstone already, so if they don't kill him right away, the fight could definitely look to be quite a disaster if those TPs do come out. Did it with the farm during all the entirety. That's the one thing about it's like I always expect her, right? You know, if we relocate, you're farming the entire time during all of this one in the jungle, and you can just join in whenever they do find an opportunity. Mind control will reveal himself for a moment there. That's where no one's like, okay, let's see. Can I find something here? But yeah, TP responses are coming now. It's going to be tough if VP does want to get aggressive here.
Yeah, as soon as the preparations start to be made.
Yeah. They have to know this preparation's coming too. They're actually relocating in.
They want to commit for this, but as you say, Tombstone's going to be set down. Mass TP's coming in from Nigma as everybody responds to this. ILTW is even going to get back away. He's not. He's out. They'll lose Zites as well. So those guys for the TP aware if they got anything to capture. They do. RMN in with the hook shot. And the struggles at VP in this game certainly shown that that was such a high risk play.
And I mean, they're trying to force it, but you know, look, we're saying it, like, you know what's going to happen if you do try to force the issue. They're just going to TP Tombstone. There's no way you can win a fight there. Even if you have numbers, it's under a tower under these two abilities that kind of counter your lineup very heavily. Immediate smoke. They want to try to catch someone who split up. No one. He's spotted. He gets slowed for a second.
He's going to be able to hold back the three of them there with the avalanche. That'll do it. Yeah, stops them coming up to the high ground, and no one's able to live to see another day.
Can't quite get the setup there, and then immediately mind control. He'll park himself in front of this tower again. Tombstone should be available any moment. So again, if they do want to get aggressive and look for this tower here, which is kind of low, it's gonna be risky. But it does feel like, I mean, it feels like they're feeling like they're forced the way that they're making their moves around the map too. Nigma overall just feel like they have this much calmer posture. Prepared for the fights now, though.
Gotta get a good wraparound on bottom. No one
deep.
Comes in from the side. We are going to start turning. Build the poison up onto no one, but they catch them underneath the tower.
All right, nice move.
That's a sort of a second time on that bottom lane where RMN and we have been punished for pushing out as just the two of them.
Yeah, and it's the moment that they saw the two heroes top, right? I think they saw the Undying. I think they saw the Phoenix there afterwards for a second, so they know, okay, we have numbers again. We said all about the number game. VP playing it pretty nicely when they do see heroes split away. Nigma have to be a bit careful about those type of mistakes.
Especially as the Viper, despite Weehar's strong start in mid, this very much is a hero, right? A few deaths and your game can come to a real slowdown as this hero.
Absolutely.
Look at this. With a bit of the bait.
He's really tanky, though.
He's incredibly tanky. Tombstone's going to be dropped down and mind control is going to start running at them. Zions, he's out of there.
Oh, Corin dying. Look at him go. He has to hit people.
No one. He's got the backup of Solo, but you're right. Mind control just getting some big old revenge for what they're able to do in game one. The bullied has become the bully.
I love. Undying is actually really satisfying to hear to watch now. When you can actually see him hit people with flash golem, it's just like, they're full damage amp, and you're slowed to the point of 100 movement speed. Yeah, no way they can burst him. 2,000 plus HP when he gets the ulti off.
Yeah, he's having a great game. Second highest in net worth mind control. And they just can't go on it. You cannot go on this Undying, in particular when he is near his tower. Even when he wasn't, I guess he was still running them down, the two of them.
I think it's just risky to make plays now without Rezo. He's having the good game on the Beastmaster. I think he's getting close to that book. I think you have to just make plays around the Beastmaster because he's going to enable your Chief so much with that aura, extra little bit of damage too with the drum. Yeah, they're going to be lacking some damage for sure. Like it's really just going to be keep reiterating numbers, right? Like if they see where they have a number advantage, that's when they can fight. If they're doing that at near tier 1, way too risky.
Nice little deny there from Reza. Able to snag that away with the ball, I believe. Still Nigma holding this lead, 4K ahead. GH, we've seen him do it many times. Pull off those big plays with the Meteor Hammer, and he's going to be able to start doing that again this game as the hammer's on its way out.
Oh, already, look at that. Just straight prioritizing to go for it. Weehaw. Bit far up again.
He is. This time he's not even got RMM with him.
They're a bit scared because the tier 1 is there, though.
Yeah, they're kind of like, is he really alone?
And they don't have theirs to TP to. They do have the IO to relocate, but yeah, too close to a tier 1 when all those ultis are available.
Yeah, didn't have the no on Tiny around as well, and his burst very much crucial for getting these kills.
He's trying to finish up his blink. I think he's actually getting pretty close to it.
Should be.
He's been farming really well, or catching up really well. Like, he's almost caught up to the Viper, which is pretty huge. Even though it has been Weehaw kind of giving his life away from the bottom, but
yeah, been playing pretty wild on the bottom lane, which at the moment hasn't really hurt him too much. It's been working right. Space has been created for Miracle and mind control in that sense, as well as both of these cores are getting.
He's getting done again in the mid lane, though. He looks like he's very dead. He does have the Mac to turn it for a moment, but his team TP bottom already.
Bottom's sides. He's trying to run from the 4 of them. Won't make it away, so Nigma finding a trade, but I mean, it is a lot of times back-to-back now that Weeha's going down. This mid tower won't fall, as they're going to be able to TP over and push VP back away from this, so the tier 1 will be a help for now, but I mean, I feel like there's got to be a point where, you know, there's so many deaths is a little too many on this Viper.
I guess he's just playing as, I mean, he's playing he's very over aggressive. I guess he's not expecting how much damage the VP can actually deal out when he is out that far, but I guess it's really in his head too. It's all about the Miracle game, right? Yeah. That's why he went for Mac. He's the supporting cast to his. Oh my!
ILTW is firing away silently and pretty nicely.
I've not seen that pick up actually on an eye.
Bit of a different bit.
It's got the orc. Okay. I mean, the silence versus Phoenix is really nice. The heavy amount of attack speed too he can benefit from.
And I think the good thing about it this game is, you know, GH is going to go for this Meteor Hammer build. So like, what heroes are going to be able to remove the silence? And Drow obviously with the Manta down the line, but no one else really wants to build anything to take it off them.
Yeah, I think he just wants to break the team fight, because if they can stop the Egg from going off in fights, then team fight's actually not that bad in comparison to Nigma. It's still not the same, but it's a little bit better. Well, I mean, can be cool item. I've never seen it on the IOs.
Well, definitely something that they have planned here, VP, and we'll see how it goes. Still yet to, we say for the most part, LTW, he's just been silently farming away. Relocate here and there, very much been playing away from the action.
He's doing great.
Farm is very good.
Yeah, farm is excellent, and the Roche does go down. Net worth kind of started to even out a little bit because, like you said, ILTW is getting so much farm.
Alright, man. Steps forward. That's a quick and easy combo for VP. Bottom. Relocate's coming in. They've got the setup with the roll. Rezo just drops it onto mind control. There's the silence from ILTW. I think you've got to be a little worried here if you're Nigma. You had an excellent control at the laning stage onwards. It's starting to slip away. A few deaths here and there as VP. They're making the moves to get back into a game that is not easy to do with their draft. They at the moment are just starting to outmaneuver Nigma. They're getting caught off. They're back in this game, and this IO, this ILTW IO, it's got a lot of potential. These sort of relocate moves comboed with the Silence of the Orchid, it's just enough, right, to amp up that burst combo from the Tiny to make sure that they have a solid shot of getting even these tankier heroes like the Undying.
Yeah, and I mean, they've really built up so much. Squeehouse, look how shut down he is now. He's actually equivalent net worth or less than the Tiny. It was kind of flickering back between the two of them there. So he's not as tanky as he once was. Now they have all these levels built up. They picked up a couple items.
He has got the Greaves on the Viper now. So.
Okay, so he's got the Dispel at least too for that Orchid, but still, I mean, he's definitely shown that he can die. Like
An easy catch here from Arman. Finds the setup with the cogs.
Yep. Nigma now grouping up. This is where they're at their big strong point here. We see the IO relocate. He's trying to cut the creep wave immediately. You can tell the kind of style that they still do want to play on VP. They don't want to run into that 5-man death ball. They still want to look for those pickoffs. We'll be this tier 2 dead here.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing for sure. I mean, unless VP start to get really far ahead, a 5v5 is never going to feel good for them, right?
No, it's going to be always very difficult. Yeah. Unless they can, start with a number advantage, right? That's what we keep saying, is if they can catch, like, the Phoenix in the back lines and then they trickle and start killing one by one, that's how their lineup works.
Yeah, but a heads-up team fight
will be tough.
Yeah.
They can't kill it, though. That is one thing. They do have Beastmaster Aura, they have IO Overcharge, they do have these elements to be able to kill it. It's just when everything is together, like Tombstone, Egg, it's a lot of things they have to worry about.
Yeah, you can really feel now Nigma with the Greaves on Weehart. They're like, right, let's just run down lanes as 5. We're very strong still.
Just stop getting picked off, right? It's the biggest thing is stop going to lanes by yourself or showing 2 heroes. Have to just play as a unit. This is now maybe where VP can look to start to find a catch here when Nigma does split away from each other, when they are looking to split up for those lanes.
Nice, nice with his own combo to play over 2. Of course, the shackle into hammer.
Full aggressive build though for him. So who's going to build the Force Staff for them? Because I do feel like they want a Force Staff to get people in and out, away from the egg or out of the cogs. So I guess it's just going to be a bad who goes for that one first. Maybe they find a catch here.
I certainly will. Oh,
these are all gone.
They didn't get the shackle.
But he's good.
Yeah, he knows that no point popping the ult. He'll save that for the team fight.
They find someone though when they do back up and split off, so they do at least find that pick off here. Their lanes are in a good spot too.
And they've got the Force for no one delivered out, so ways to save.
I think Solo, I believe he also has it done. So I think they do have 2 Force Staffs on the side of VP to get in and out of the action. I mean, all things considered, it's less than 1k gold lead for Nigma. I feel like VP's probably pretty happy the way all things have gone.
No one in the mid might be in a bit of a rough place here as Iron Man. He's got the hook shot. Still the safe and solo of Iron Man with a nice pushback from those cogs. Gets no one back into the hands of Mind Control and Weehart. And they very quickly make work of him. I'm going to cut charging towards Solo, but no diving the high ground quite yet here.
Still no Force Staff on Solo. He was actually so close to having it there. If he had it, which is just a little bit of gold away, I think like 20 or so, whatever, he maybe would have been able to actually save the money there. So.
And they're splitting up the lanes nicely. I mean, again, you got to keep eyes on this IO. ILTW is continually he's right there behind Miracle's farm, and his BKB is it's 200 gold away from being done. He's going to be incredibly strong in these fights.
Yeah, and that's a build that he wants to get involved in actual team fights, right? Because then he can actually focus fire things. Now though, he's trying to go for solo kill on Clock, but there's a drown here.
He may. No, he's going to bring that Iron Man with him. No, he's not.
The Alpha Wolf, nope, and they get that kill too. Iron Man, he's from with 80 HP. Huge pickup. Look how much gold they get too, because that high net worth of the IO Miracle. And lots of space too. 40 seconds where that IO can't look for split.
He's running into the 4 of them. He's gone straight in here. Hook shots up. I mean, he's able to turn and toss back Mind Control. The Supernova's down. The 4 staffs is actually enough to save no one. It looks like it is. No one somehow getting away from. No, he didn't. He ended up. Mind Control's able to get in reach with the final dog rip by the looks of it and nuked him down.
That's a quick succession of kills that, especially versus a Drow lineup. Now they're going to capitalize on it. 2-2. Likely to go down. Heal up 2 at the Greaves. Oh, they were just stunning. They were keeping their footing too very well for VP, but these type of kills they really snowball.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's such an easy drop Enigma to play, even in a game that's even.
Yeah, I mean the Drow just is able to kill those buildings super easy. Rezo now starting to get back. ILTW is relocating to split push.
Yeah, and use that final wave, and the BKB will be done.
There's no egg, no hook shot. Tombstone still on CD2. They're gonna back away. They don't want VP to try to catch him. That's a scary place for Nigma to get caught, because that's where you start getting tossed into the base and people just die one by one.
I mean, they're going to try and find a catch here.
They still have the ward on the high ground, so they do see Miracle in the front.
It's not going to lack. And now the turnaround comes into play. Hook straight from Iron Man is there, further force to save. Ranger, the rocket flare, they'll keep him alive. Dive forward from GH, but the heals from ILTW keep Zayats protected.
They stuck together as that unit. Nigma didn't back away one by one. They waited until DP made the move. Now they TP back. Nice play by them. VP, let's see if they can actually catch anyone, though, on the retreat. It's not looking like it.
I mean, now that they know a couple of them have gone. Oh. And today, they don't have the relocate available, so no chance for a catch or a setup.
Nice disengage by Nigma. The way they played down was really nice. I think they recognized, right? Just outside the base, that's where it can be scary. You can lose consecutive heroes on the chase out, but yeah. Sticking together, and we see Weehart, like we said. He's all about, buffing up Miracle this game. Greaves into Medallion, into Solar Crest, just buff up the Drow so that she can solo carry.
Yeah, and that Crimson from Mind Control is going to help out a lot against all these little right clicks from VP.
Yep, Solo. Take a step up, but there's a lot of slow.
Yeah, they'll be able to deal with this about it. There's no help coming.
7K gold lead, and they get a pick off immediately. It's time to push again into the high ground. And even aggressive Tombstone up there too for vision, so they can see if any heroes do TP and where they are. Tombstone at night too. That night vision it provides. You actually see everybody inside of the base there. VP pretty far. It's at 1200 or 1800. That night vision. So
they just can't get them off this tower.
And they see everybody. Look, Rezo constantly getting those zombies onto him. Same thing with ILTW. They're aware of the positioning.
Shackles are just not connecting. The hammer does.
Hey, he's dead on Zayats. The magic damage.
No one's going to get the toss back onto Weehard, but Weehard's forced back away and healed up by the soul root. There'll be a buyback from Zayats. And they cannot stop Nigma from taking the mid racks. The melee racks gone. They'll even bring down the range racks as well before they're on their way out, as Nigma got what they came for. 10k lead up now.
Their 5-man is just way too strong. And they're just holding on now. I mean, they still have Supernova. They know if they just can stick together. Wait,
no one's hit. He's going to look for the toss back. He's having a grab Miracle. He's up into the base. Miracle's forced aside. Then the second foot as well gets Miracle away. He's able to turn with the guts. ILTW is trying to finish him off with the soul repeal and the summary. Keep Miracle alive. Only RMN going down. They're trying to go back in. The egg now. Not easy with a huge avalanche on the four of them. Can they take the egg down in time? They're trying. They cannot do so. The Supernova successful as GH comes out of it all.
He's burning them. He's burning them all.
That's a die back on Zayats. VP, they tried their best to kick back at Nigma, but even then, still just unable to win these fights. No one coming in with huge stuns. And Nigma's just a little too far ahead.
Yeah, they get the one hero, but the whole team fights together, and we're really seeing just the power. When they're grouped up, it's just impossible. There's no way VP can take anything with just a straight up 5v5. They have to... I mean, they have to just... if they get the kill initially on Miracle there, perhaps, right? Because then they can start to chase forward, then they can focus fire the egg, but it took them that second re-go to try to get him, where Nigma can respond a little bit better. Yeah, 12k gold lead, not looking easier for VP as it progresses.
It's just going to be a game where heap tosses are going to be what's going to do it, if there is anything here for VP. And no one did come close to making some nice plays there, but the abundance of 4 staffs
and sustain heals, Soul Rip, Sunray, Greaves as well. It's just there's so many different tools that they can utilize with their 5-man. Even if Vlad's now on the Undying too, so yeah, they're all about just auras and group up and end. And they even get now the Roche is back up, perfect timing for them. I feel like VP, if they don't stop this Roche, they're just gonna get barreled down a lane and inevitably lose this one, so I feel like they might be forced to actually contest it.
They do find themselves a repair kit, so a little something that's going to help them against these pushes from Nigma.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know how they contest it, but no, and he's chilling around the area. What's going on, but...
Oh, he's in trouble. He is in a lot of trouble here. Maybe Solo can save him. Solo, he can't get close enough to shield it. They're just pushing them apart. No one goes down, and Solo... He can't get out of this either. He can try and run. He's got the ult. He's got a TP, but as long as Iron Man can close in, they'll be able to cancel this. The space is there as well for Miracle to finish Roche, grab the Aegis. And Solo pushed out of the game here by these cogs. 70 seconds, no about it. Miracle also having the completed Skadi.
Oh god, and he's playing versus a ranged carry of the IO, so Skadi just double benefit versus those ranged carries. I mean, this is just a luxury item, it feels like, as with this Aegis, with the cheese, they should be able to just group up and go. So we're seeing VP trying to split up the map here.
They're going to dodge this. Look at the TPs. 4 TPs coming in reaction. Can they even kill GH?
Oh, the heals.
They can't get anywhere close to. GH is more than fine. ILTW is going to get popped. The BKB will not keep him alive against the physical and the magic immunity piercing abilities that Nigma have.
That looked like a desperate kind of play there.
I think it was the last attempt there from VP this game. The tips coming out back in response now. Nigma getting some revenge as they fire them the way of ILTW.
GH just buys a full refresher too. He's like, alright, you know what? One egg was enough, but now let's throw in a second one. Smoke immediately to the tower. Probably pushing the wave, go toward top. Maybe they can catch some people here too. Rezo, be a little careful how far he steps up here as the smoke might catch him off guard. He's got a blink. Can they break it? Is it a hook shot? Not gonna go. What the?
Oh man, going very full. Can he get it? Yeah, this is definitely what the hell. There is no. Yeah, no bite on him. And with this push, they can take these down very quickly. A fortification is there.
Okay.
But by a bit of time, 20 seconds until ILTW's back up, but 40 seconds without Rezo.
Miracle's just so buff. Look at this. Ground. Doesn't care.
Damn out. No one. Oh, they hit the front. He's in the mountain. The 4-star gets him out. Diving into
God,
super.
yeah, with the Thunderang.
Killed it. They're burning inside of their own fountain here. GH gets them all.
And a second one.
And there they go. Ending style Nigma. GG well played is called. And if we had sort of read the show from VP in game 1, this was the show from Nigma in game 2.
Yeah, they definitely got picked off a couple times where I feel like maybe it was preventable, but I think inevitably they probably just understood the nature of this game is there's no way the VP can win a straight up team fight ever in this one. It's just way too strong of a draft, and with the ground, doesn't care.
This was the show from Nigma in game 2.
Yeah, they definitely got picked off a couple times where I feel like maybe it was preventable, but I think inevitably they probably just understood the nature of this game is there's no way the VP can win a straight up team fight ever in this one. It's just way too strong of a draft, and with the ground.